Hello, Griot fam. You're watching The Hill with April Ryan, where we bring you the latest news and politics every week. Starting off this edition, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is best known recently for his ban of AP African American Studies in the state of Florida and his fight with the Disney theme park over the LGBTQ+ community is inching ever so close to throwing his hat into the ring for president with the release of his new book entitled The Courage to Be Free. Though he hasn't formally announced his intentions, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass is calling DeSantis' soft campaign launch a very dangerous moment in our country.
DeSantis is very, very scary. The idea that he would be bold enough to essentially try to erase our history, to say that not only does our history not matter, but teaching it is dangerous because it might make white children feel bad, without any regard at all to the way Black children would feel, knowing that their history has deliberately been erased. And the threat that that is to Latinos, to the indigenous population, the indigenous nations of this country, to Asian Pacific Islanders, to anti-Asian hate that is going on. So to have somebody who is doing a soft presidential launch base his campaign on fundamental racist ideology, he's appealing to the guys who were carrying the tiki torches in Charlottesville.
On the DeSantis decision to ban AP African American Studies, if other states pick up the Florida effort, it means stories like the formation of the Black Panther Party in 1966, the Civil Rights Movement of the 60s, Brown v. Board in the 1950s, Emmett Till's lynching in 1955, and other stories are not told. The Little Rock Nine's Ernie Green is one of the members of the historic group who integrated Little Rock Central High School in 1957.
It's obviously wrong-headed. We have to prove to them that they are on the wrong side of history. And thirdly, their kids are going to see that. Because if this country wants to be competitive in the world is brown and Black.
Back home here in Washington, D.C., Vice President Kamala Harris witnessed the dual citizenship ceremony at the Ghanaian Embassy in D.C. of two centenarians, 108-year-old Viola Fletcher and 102-year-old Hugh's Uncle Red Van Ellis. They are two of the survivors of the Black Wall Street Massacre in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Demario Solomon Simmons is the attorney for the brother and sister pair. Demario told the Griot the pair traveled last year to Ghana and loved it so much so that they're in the nation's capital city to receive dual citizenship as they're still looking for the restoration and repair of what Tulsa's white community did over 100 years ago. The 40 blocks of Black wealth in that historic Black community of Greenwood was destroyed due to racism.
We want the 40 blocks built back up. We want people to get the mental health training services they need. We want an abatement of taxes. Think about this, April. Now, someone burnt down your home, killed your family members, and then you had to pay them for 100 years. So we're simply saying, hey, if they are a survivor or a descendant of someone who was a victim of the massacre, they shouldn't have to pay taxes to the city, the county, and the state that destroyed them and stopped them from getting what they deserve for the last 100 years. I mean, that makes perfect sense.
As we're talking about Ghana, the vice president is expected to travel to Ghana at the end of this month, as well as Tanzania and Zambia. And in other news, we're saying a fond farewell to Keisha Lance Bottoms. She's going to go home to her family. She's leaving the White House after extending her stay there a few times since she joined the White House in June of 2022. She was only intending to stay through the midterms. As we bid a fond farewell to Black History Month 2023, it's important to highlight the month to make the broader community, as well as the Black community, aware of the greatness of a community that's overcome centuries of hate and racism in spite of constant obstacles. That's it for this edition of The Hill with April Ryan. Hopefully next week I'll be feeling better, but we'll see you next week with your latest in news and politics. Peace.